If you're ready to hit your first day hike, pick your trail, got the gear, the food, water, everything's all packed up, you are all ready to go. Only problem is, you've never done it before. And the last thing you want to do is look like a trail. Let me help you out with some trail etiquette. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about with trail etiquette is leave no trace. Now, this is a principle that sort of has 7 principles to it, and really it's relatively self-explanatory. Future me is going to be doing a video on this for itself, breaking down these 7 principles, putting a card up here at some point so that future viewers can check that out. But until then, just keep in mind that these trails are for everyone. People came before you, people came after you, and if we're going to all be able to kind of escape modern life and recharge our batteries in these beautiful scenic areas, it'd be best if we didn't have all kinds of evidence of everybody else that was doing the same thing. Our next piece of trail etiquette is something that's maybe a little bit less obvious than, I guess, the concept of leaving no trace. And that would be that the hikers that are going uphill on a trail have right-of-way versus the hikers that are going downhill. And the reasoning behind this is pretty common sense, and that's because it takes more effort to go uphill than it does to go downhill. So just as a common courtesy, if you're going downhill, you're enjoying the easier aspect of your hike, let the person that's coming right up here go past you. And for our third point, we're going to continue the theme of right-of-way. Not everybody's going to be hiking at the same speed. Now, ideally, you're not listening to your music so loud that you can't hear people coming up behind you, but if somebody's coming up behind you quickly, step off the trail, let them pass you. Equally so, some trails you've got cyclists, some trails you've got horses. Get out of the way, be courteous. Again, these trails are for everybody. They're not yours, certainly. If you have your own private land, that's one story, but if you're out on, the back country or, some national park, state park, etc., let's be courteous to each other and give way to those that are going a little bit quicker than maybe we want to be going. Our fourth little piece of trail etiquette is group size. Now, this is mainly for day hiking, because if you're going to be on like a multi-day backpacking trip, chances are you're on a more secluded trail, more isolated, less people you're going to be running into, that type of thing. But on a day hike, you're going to have all kinds of people that are looking to take a few-hour excursion from their day and get out there, hit the trails. So I think it's a little bit like golf is really what you want to be shooting for. 4 to 5 people at most, because again, there's going to be passing on the trail. There's going to be, it's only so wide. Obviously, it's a hiking trail. And if you're in a group of 10 people, 20 people, I've seen a group of 30 people who's absolutely insane on a 1.5 mile out and back hike. So I guess it was a 3-mile round trip hike, but they brought
3 hours later.
Don't go in a giant group when you're out day hiking. You don't need to be in a giant group. You can go with 4 or 5 people, and you can stagger your groups as well. This 5th point is for the dog owners. Now, I currently don't have a dog. I've got a cat. I'm working on getting him out hiking, but he currently likes just kind of putter around in the yard. Doesn't really like to put in the miles that I do. So my point being, when you bring your animals out, aside from horses, and I understand why, clean up after their waste. Don't just leave it on the trail, and ideally you got in your pup off the trail to do their business. And a slightly controversial point, or opinion of mine, is if you are going to be too lazy to carry the bag of dog poop to the end of the trail or wherever the trash can is, don't put it in a bag.
Oh, that's nasty.
Because now you're creating a gross job for a complete stranger to do, which is picking up this bag of dog poop and putting it in a trash can. If you're not going to put it in a bag, make sure it's off the trail and let it decompose with all of the other animal poop. It's okay. But as a responsible person, again, would leave no trace, clean up after your dog. And our 6th piece of trail etiquette is something I'd love to see in more of our regular life. Let's interact with the people you pass. One, if depending on the type of trail it might be, you might be intersecting with people that are doing longer miles and maybe haven't talked to somebody in a long time. You yourself maybe haven't talked to somebody in a long time. Or from the simple fact, trails again are narrow. You're going to be in close quarters. It's awkward. From my perspective, it's rude to not acknowledge the existence of the person who's going to be in your immediate vicinity, your immediate space, as you're passing by them. Etiquette piece number 7, we've alluded to before, and again, the underlying theme to all of this is common courtesy and the fact that you're in a public space, you're on planet Earth in the beautiful outdoors. Treat it as the other people are here to enjoy it themselves. So listen to music on headphones if you're going to be listening to music at all. I'd encourage you to be listening to the sounds of nature. It helps with contemplative, meditative hiking. But I also listen to music myself all the time while I do it because it helps with extra, adrenaline, extra dopamine, keep you kind of pushing forward and getting more and more miles that you're trying to get on that day. But nobody else signed up to listen to whatever music you're listening to, no matter how amazing your taste is. And our next hiking etiquette tip, maybe a little bit unheard of, maybe unique to me, but a lot of the day hikes I like to do are difficult climbs to the top of a mountain, and then you kind of trek back down. When you are on that downhill trek, your job, is your duty, is to make sure that everybody that's going uphill and struggling doesn't just quit. So when you pass people taking a break, I always tell them something along the lines of, if they ask me, if they say anything, or if they give me a look like, oh my God, I can't do this. And you know that look when you've been out hiking. I will say something along the lines of, you're so close, it would be a shame if you quit now. And I say this because I had somebody do this to me when I first got into hiking, and I was so close to the summit, but I was just, I had recently quit smoking cigarettes, previous years of addiction, horrible nutrition, sedentary lifestyle, and they told me that, and boy, am I glad they did, because the dopamine, the feeling of accomplishment, all of the ways that my body rewarded me for doing that very, very difficult thing, getting to the top of that hike, I wouldn't have known that I even missed them if I would have just turned around and quit. Our next piece of trail etiquette is when you yourself need to relieve yourself on the trail. Now, ideally, you don't have to, but this is an inevitability when you're hiking for extended miles and extended hours. So get off the trail. One, nobody wants to look at you.
That's gross.
And two, nobody wants to see what you're doing. They don't want to see what you're leaving behind. Now, if it's a number two, make sure you've got, some sort of a trowel so that you can dig the appropriate cat hole and bury that. Because again, nobody wants to be seeing that, even though, of course, we all poop. And my last piece of trail etiquette is make sure you're prepared when you hit the trail, so that you're not going to need anyone else's assistance while on the trail. And conversely, if you encounter someone that needs assistance, make sure you're prepared to offer assistance of some kind. So what I mean by this is be in the physical shape that you need to be in for the hike that you're going on. Have the appropriate food and water to accomplish this hike without any difficulties whatsoever. Now, obviously, we'd like to push our competency, but don't do something that's so far beyond your competency that there's a high chance of you then having an issue, hurting yourself, running out of food, running out of water, and needing help in some way. Now, again, that flip side, being prepared to help other people when out on the trail. If you are able to carry more water than you need or carry more food than you need, you can tremendously help somebody out who came underprepared. And you might be able to help them make it back safely without needing to call in search and rescue volunteers. So I think we'll leave it there. If you got anything out of this video, make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and stick around. We got more hikes, guides, tips, all that good stuff coming up. Peace.